Hey everybody, I'm Mikey Andersen, and this is Fantasy Avenue, where each week we talk about everything you need to know in the world of fantasy football.
Okay, it's another episode of Fantasy Avenue. Welcome back. Another banger for you today with Mikey Andersen, your main man. Just thinking I need to change my intro. It's been my intro since day one of the podcast. We got to get that done soon. And yeah, I mean, what a week, right? Hello, welcome back. It's been a heck of a week in the football world, in the high school football world, the college football world, the NFL. We're gonna have a bit of a, maybe a short episode, maybe a 15, 20-minute, because hey, let me tell you the details of my life right now. It's 5:46 p.m. when I'm filming this on a Monday night. Okay. Now, if you don't know, if you're not huge into the NFL, we have a Monday night football game tonight. The Broncos, the Bills. Of course, I got to get home and watch that. Live about 15 minutes away from my house. Game starts at 6:20. Don't really want to miss kickoff. Did that just say live about 20 minutes away from my house? Yeah, I actually live in the street. I actually live in a bag. No. I do this podcast at my dad's work, dad's shop area. Kind of sick, but it's about 15 minutes away. So we're going to make a little bit of a quick episode. Okay, ignore the voice crack. A little bit quick episode. We're going to have to get home so I can catch the start of the game. No Fortnite's going to be played tonight, unfortunately. That sucks, that's ruined my mood for sure. Okay, so, what's going on? What's going on really in football right now? Galatasaray Raptors, fortunately, lost in the semifinal of the Montana AA playoffs. Just a quick little tidbit. Good year. I'm ready for next year. We're ready to put in the work. I'm ready for, to go ball out where I don't know. It's just there's so much disappointment. That's why I'm so glad that the Broncos are winning. I'm so glad that my favorite college, the Ducks, are winning, because there's a lot of disappointment right now. But that's okay. We have stuff we need to change. Personally, I'm excited for next year. I'm excited to, work and hopefully get the role I want and go out and compete. And I'm excited for our team. Excited for, to have the seniors and to show, what we've been working for 4 years. And I am excited to beat freaking Bozeman High, Like, crap on the Hawks. But hey, I got to wish the Hawks good luck in the finals that are 4 days away from when this podcast is getting posted against Glacier. I can't say anything bad there because we're not there. But get hyped for next year. As I said, I'm a little disappointed, but, I got some things to carry me on to the next year of college football. Go freaking Bobcats and go Ducks, baby. We've both been balling out. I say we because I am basically the team. It's interesting. I've been watching a lot more college football because of my Dynasty League. Kind of interesting. Another reason why I love Dynasty Leagues, another reason why I think people should all join them is because, I got to sit up straight here. Got to get a little bit better posture here. Okay, let's move the mic up. Yep. It's, I've been watching more because Dynasty Leagues, I've explained it to them a couple times, explained it on the pod a couple times already, but, what they say about people who listen to fantasy football podcasts. Their memory is about as good as a bee's after Thanksgiving, right? Bee doesn't even know where it is. Shouldn't even be alive at that point. Should be probably frozen to death. Doesn't think it's been to this flower already and then realizes, oh, that's not a real flower. That's a freaking drawing because all the flowers are dead. So that's kind of how your guys' memory is. I understand it. My memory's not, it doesn't excel. Oops, I just turned the volume all the way down. It doesn't excel either, but I'm going to tell you straight off that Dynasty Leagues, you only draft rookies because you kind of keep your team. And that means that you need to pay attention to college football because the draft comes around. You only have 5 or 6, 8, something like that rounds in the draft. You want to find some hidden gems in the rookie department, and that's what I'm going to be trying to do next year. So I've been watching a lot of football. Bo Nix might not be an NFL quarterback, but he might be. So I got my eye on him. And then finally NFL. It was a good week of NFL football. I don't know. It's hard when you're this good at freaking fantasy football. It's hard to say that. I am projected to win in literally every of my 5 leagues, I believe. 6 leagues? Dude, I don't even know how many leagues I'm in, but I believe I'm projected to win in every single one. Because I'm what you call an animal. Which is alright, I don't care. You don't care. But it's hard to care when you're that good, okay? So I just want to point that out. I want to point out that I need a bit of a night here from Dalton Kincaid. I love a good game by him. Love a night by Cortland Sutton. I would really appreciate you guys to show up. Please show up. I've got you in multiple leagues. I'm gonna need some scores. Oh yeah, the odds that you guys hear this, because unfortunately, you'll hear this before the Broncos game, Bills game tonight. Broncos can't stop tight ends to save their goddamn lives. So put Dalton Kincaid, the Bills tight end, who's been rising in the ranks. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. Tell me if it's not. Just kidding, because you're not here, because I'm alone in this office. All right, so anyway, if somehow you're hearing this in the 5 minutes before the game starts when I post it, good on you. Unfortunately, the only downloads I get, basically the same day I post the podcast. Well, no, I'll say same hour, because I don't really, I have to get the word out via Instagram, Snapchat, at the Fantasy Avenue Podcast, Instagram. There you go. A little bit of a shout out for myself there. Anyway, the only immediate downloads are actually myself downloading it for myself just to boost my own listens so that I can show ads when I finally get ads. Holy crap, it's never going to happen. I say this every single podcast. I'm such a slacker. I have so much going on in my life. Thank God football's done for that one reason. I'm sad football's over, but holy crap, I might get ad money now. And then I hit the ground running next football season, and I have some money in my pocket. How awesome will that be? And I have 6 fantasy championships on my back because I'm winning all of 6 leagues. You can't stop me when I'm going into the Gals Night football season with like $10 in a fantasy chipper on my back. So anyway, I'm glad football's done because I can tackle the ads. Maybe not. It's a lot of effort. It's not even that much effort. It's just like knowing how to do it. Like once you know, it's good. But learning how to do it is unfortunately a bit of work. And unfortunately, shout out Adam. Shout out my mentor. He moved. Yeah. I don't know if he even listens to the podcast really because he's from Great Britain and doesn't even know what American football is necessarily. But he's funny to talk to because of his accent, so I'll give him that. But I'm not getting any help from him really. I might call him up on the telly as he so affectionately calls it, but we'll see. We're 7 minutes of podcast, and what have we done? Talk about any fantasy football related stuff? No. I do have a Bronco game to get to, so we're gonna talk to the guys right now. Your ads of the week. First of all, if you check the Instagram, you would have known that I've kind of freaking balled out this week with I just turned on the second of the 3 computers in this room, and the mic is backwards. I'm moving the mic down the desk, and the cursor on the computer is going up. I'm moving the it's because the mic was flipped upside down, or the mouse was flipped upside down. All right, never mind. I'm not gonna cut that segment out because it's funny, but I'm gonna ignore it. What I was saying was I kind of went crazy with my predictions. Amari Cooper, big boy on the. I don't even know if I've posted that yet. So I have an Instagram post to post, and I'm gonna do that. But anyway, a bit of spoilers. I predicted Amari Cooper to have a big week. He did. Predicted CeeDee Lamb to have a big week. He did. Predicted CJ Stroud to have a big week. He did. Gonna need a big week from Dalton Kincaid. Maybe. I did get a little bit of points from Raiders running back Josh Jacobs. So basically, I'm built different, and you should take all those advices, and you should take the fact that I'm winning in every single fantasy league, and you should take it and run because this advice is freaking insane. Okay, so saddle up, get ready for a big day. This guy I'm playing is a goober. He's starting Leonard Fournette, and he's not even playing against. He didn't even play last week, so yeah, that's dumb. Anyway, who are my predictions for next week? Who are my pickups? It's kind of weird knowing that I'm going to watch football tonight, and I'm talking about next week already. But you know what? Noah Brown, big pickup. So a guy I really like going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Any Texans players? I kind of shout out the Texans a lot, but because their offense is playing really nicely. And a main guy I picked up last week, Texans receiver Noah Brown. You'll be able to pick this guy up in any league. You might not be able to find CJ Stroud. You could trade for him, but the hype is a little bit too high right now. Might not be able to find Tank Dell on the waivers. But you will be able to find Noah Brown coming off 2 huge weeks and going up against a bad Cardinals defense. I like it. There's everything pointing that he should play well. So I'm going to say that that's a big pickup, a big selection for you. Who else are we thinking this week? I like Dustin Hopkins again. Dude, this guy's a freaking tank. Picked him up in every one of my 6 leagues. Kicker, if you don't know, for the Cleveland Browns. Number 1 kicker in fantasy. Ended up with him on every single league, and he got me 12 points. So, and he missed an extra point, and he still got me 12 points from a kicker spot. This guy is a beast. Pick him up if you can, because there's no reason that he's going to stop. I really like any defense that's playing it either against the Giants or the Patriots or the Cardinals. I'm going to give you those three offenses: Giants, Patriots, Cardinals. If you have a defense playing against those three teams, I'm not really sure who is. Offensive players playing against those three teams, or defensive players or defenses playing against those three teams, I like them because their offenses suck. Defenses are not much better. Well, let's think. Maybe not offensive players necessarily, but no, yes, offensive players. Let me look and see who the Patriots are playing this week, because the Patriots are the only team out of those three that I would say this is going to be pretty quick. Look up, let me think about it. I'm going to do like wow researching or wow talking research right now. Who are the Patriots playing this next week? Oh, they have a bye. Okay, so you can just completely ignore all the shit I just said. Didn't even make sense. Let's go to see who the Cardinals are playing. Cardinals are playing the Texans. All right, I already talked about that. All right, final thing. You can tell this is not very professional. Once I get ads, it'll be professional. Let me tell you what. The Washington Commanders. Okay, I like this. Sam Howell, a huge start. Big start. Available in a lot of leagues. Started them this week. Leading the NFL, as long as like Instagram is trustworthy, which you never know. There's so many bots. Don't click the links that the bots send you, because it'll either take you to an illegal site or it'll freaking take over your account. Don't know by experience, but I could guess, and I am sort of smart, so I know the links are scammed. And the rest of Instagram might be scams too. I know that woke up like this, hashtag woke up like this is always fake. So you never know what to trust with Instagram, except I wake up like an angel, because that's what I look like all the time. I need to post a hashtag woke up like this with just like a edited photo of like some freaking bodybuilder looking dude and edit my face on it. That'd be so funny. I might do that on the fantasy. Nah, I'm not gonna. Well, I might do that on Fantasy Avenue Instagram. That's kind of funny. Anyway, dude, it's weird how I can hold a conversation with just talking to myself and looking at myself in a reflection of a computer. Dude, I need a freaking guest host. If you like actually know stuff about fantasy football, you don't even need to know to come on the podcast. I have some guys that I'm just procrastinating getting on here because it's kind of a lot of work to bring someone on. But it's gonna happen, boys. You know who you are. End the strike. Hashtag end the strike. And if you really know like half decent stuff about fantasy football and you want to be on a podcast, you think it's kind of cool, it's really so easy. It's so light. I just sit here drinking water, obviously, and eating snacks that are really good for me, right? Healthy snacks, of course. And I just sit here doing this podcast and I'm just chilling with myself. So it's really not a lot of work. I would appreciate it because I don't necessarily love making conversations with myself, but it's okay. I'm entertaining enough to look myself in the mirror. Anyway, I really like Sam Howell. I started him this week. Sam Howell, big pickup. I like Terry McLaurin. I'm hoping Terry McLaurin. The Washington defense. Now this is an interesting. Let me look and see kind of how they're ranking this week, because I'm really liking Texan players and Washington players this week. They're the number 29 defense. Well, let's not go with the Washington Commanders defense. Let's go with Sam Howell, Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, all big starts. And let's go with C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, Noah Brown, and the Texans defense as big starts this week. And those are kind of, those are some stuff for you right there. I love it. I'm not sure if this week has necessarily like the whoa, people are like coming into big roles. The freaking Cowboys offense is soaring, so that could be actually. I like Brandon Cooks. CeeDee Lamb has proven to be like an absolute must start. No question, you have to start. Tony Pollard will score a touchdown eventually, hopefully. Keep starting Tony Pollard because their offense is flying. And I like Brandon Cooks, I can't even lie, as a flex option. I'm not going to play him over other flex guys like, for example, my Broncos receiver, Cortland Sutton. He's not quite that good, but he's going to go up against a bad Carolina Panthers defense this week, and he's had a couple of games this year where he scored a lot. He's had a couple one-point games. He's also had a 13, a 12, and a 30-point game. So you can find a hidden gem, and if you really don't know who to pick up, that is a gem where he looks like he really kind of performs against bad defenses and not against good defenses. So he's going up against a bad defense this week. I don't even mind him next week against the Commanders. honestly, he's not a bad pickup to kind of store or start on your roster. I sort of like that. I'm not even going to cap at you. I'm not even going to cappuccino right now. And yeah, that's kind of my situation right there. Devin Singletary as well on the Texans, a little cheeky running back pickup, but I don't really think that that's necessarily a start unless you're struggling at running backs. Someone who's not struggling at running back is me with that Austin Eckler trade that went down in this league. Since I traded him, I'll read you out his points since I traded him. Yeah, 19, 20, and 19. 19.8, 20, and 19.5. So I'm kind of a fantasy guru, kind of a fantasy genius. It's all right. You don't have to quote me on that, but you could because I know my stuff. So anyway, I'm not struggling at running backs right now. Josh Jacobs has finally decided, I'll start running for more than 5 yards per game. So he's playing well, even though he's fumbling the ball. It's a little annoying, but hey, don't fumble the ball. Raiders, you'll never be good if you fumble the ball. It's a little known fact. That's kind of my those are kind of my pickups. I'm thinking didn't prepare this week really. Had a lot of homework this weekend. Was busy. Was tired. Was in Kalispell for a football game. Wanted to play Fortnite. Did play Fortnite. Have a Bronco game tonight. Had a day of school, and yet I'm still dropping good facts. Man, I love that. I'm excelling. I'm playing like a extremely well manicured man. Excuse me. Those are kind of my selections. I'm thinking who else could possibly be in the realm in terms of what I haven't already said. I'm going to look real quick. I like Josh Dobbs. Holy cow. Almost forgot Josh Dobbs. This kid's freaking playing well. That's 3 straight games over 25 points, or about 25 points. He had 24, I guess, and then a couple 26-point games. But he's playing like Young Money Mike. New rapper name just invented about 30 minutes ago before I started the podcast. Young Money Mike. I only want you to call me as Young Money Mike. Shout out if you made 17 minutes in the podcast. If you've made it this far, next time you see me, please call me Young Money Mike. So I know you're listening this far. I'll give you a peace sign, a laugh, and a bit of a dap up. Just like that. It'll sound just like that if you heard that. And I'll say thank you for caring about me, and because I really do appreciate when people care. Anyway, Young Money Mike thinks that Josh Dobbs is a pick, and I picked him up. And him and Sam Howell are really the only quarterbacks you need this week. Like, honestly, you don't really necessarily need other quarterback options this week because those are going to be the guys that you'll be able to find. So I'm just going to kind of say hello, goodbye type of shit on the quarterback realm. I've already kind of gone over my running backs, but I like Jalen Warren and I like Dante Foreman in terms of pickups this week. They've proven that they kind of know how to run the rock a little bit. Dante Foreman is not necessarily a good play this week, but I'll tell you Jalen Warren is because Jalen Warren does not stop getting the rock. And he's gone up against a Cleveland defense that's struggled against the run game, even though they're a great defense. So I have those kind of selections for you. I'm kind of just going through who are the top scorers, and I'm just looking and seeing, who will be available to pick up and who should you be picking up right now for you guys. A viable trade guy in dynasty leagues especially, Michael Pittman, and in normal leagues, he gets the ball so many times. If you're playing a PPR, which is a point per reception, you're going to have to find a way to get your hand on this guy. He has the longest streak of active games with 8 or more catches. He gets the ball all the time. I had the ability to trade for him early in the year, and I fumbled it away, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get that in the dynasty league. It was an Ayuk for him trade, and he's having a better year than Ayuk. I think Ayuk is still a more electric guy, but Ayuk unfortunately just started the year with 36 points, and I thought, I can't trade him. Then he went 7 points and then didn't play the next week, and by then, too late to trade, so that's a bit of a fumble by me, but he's kind of your guy. I've talked about tight ends, I've talked about kicker, I've talked about defense. That looks like it's the list. I hope you made it this far on the podcast because I'm proud of you. It wasn't necessarily a funny podcast. What am I kidding? It's always a funny podcast with me on the show. I'm glad that you made it this far. I'm sorry if it's annoying how much I play with the wire and if you can hear that the wire is tapping. Josie, I'm going to want to listen to the podcast back, over party because that was funny. So shout out that. Shout out all the boys who are listening. Shout out the coaches who are listening. Shout out Zach Salvit. I don't know if you're going to I'll shout you out next episode. This is a little late to shout out, but hey, appreciate you listening to the podcast. Didn't know you listened, didn't even know you knew about it considering that you're not around the coaching staff anymore, so we miss you. And I got a lot of love in my heart for all these people. Really makes me feel good. Gallatin Raptor football out, Oregon Duck football out, MSU football out, Bronco football out, Mikey Andersen out. See you next time.